I woke up in the morning and let me clean the house normally. He was already in the living room with Bible on his laps.
And what?
With Bible on his laps. Yeah.
Right.
And then he looked up. I greeted him. He looked up. He looked down. Then he came to meet me. He said, "Nobody ignores me." That he wanted to have that. I knew he wanted to do something with me. And I made sure it did not happen. He just said, "Nobody." At that time, I was even in the kitchen. He just slapped my butt and they left. And I went to, I just did all the cleaning that I needed to do at home, there in their house. I prepared food. Another church member came and, we finished all that. There was no time for me to go home. I told Pastor Dele, I said, "I want to be going home now." Then he came into the picture. He said, "I'm going out." Yes.
Peter said when he heard that you wanted to go.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
He said, "I'm going out. I'll drop you off on the way."
Okay.
So I now told her, I said, I just want to go all by myself now. Don't worry, sir, don't worry. This whole thing is just tiring.
Sorry. I'm very sorry.
I've tried to be like a superwoman all along, like I don't like to remember these things.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
In a way, really, I see men of God to just be mean.
So, okay, this is very painful to go through, but you went to do this for other women who have gone through this, or who are at risk of going through this again.
It's actually difficult to say who have gone through.
Who could have,
because it's more like it lives with you.
Right, so it's not a one-off thing.
It's not a one-off thing.
So it's
because
who are going through.
Yeah, who are going through it. It's just like the level I'm at now, that's not where I was years ago.
Right.
But it's all a struggle. That's poor self-perception. You just look at yourself like you're worthless. When you visualize the image, you visualize everything that happens. It affects you mentally.
But I'm going to ask another stupid question. But why? Like, if someone did something so terrible, why are you the one that feels bad about yourself? I mean,
the way the whole thing changed after, like I will talk about it after he came, when my brother approached him and he started begging,
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
okay.
Yeah,
right. Okay,
yeah.
so that people can follow the trail.
Yeah.
So I sense that, I mean, I asked not to be told the story before the conversation, but then I sense that there is something else coming, because he said to you, I will take, first he had said to you.
Yeah, because that was the second time it happened again.
So it happened twice?
It happened twice.
In 1 week?
In 1 week.
Does the rape by Biodun happen twice in 1 week?
Yes, in 1 week. So that day I entered the car, white Benz.
So after you had said you were not going to go, he basically insisted that you had to go with him,
Yeah,
that he would
the
drop you
wife
off.
was like, go now, Pastor
Oh, the
just wants
wife
to
said-
drop you. I
The
was
wife
like,
didn't think to ask you,
no,
why are you so worried about going away?
she didn't. She just said, follow Pastor now. Pastor is going, just follow him, drop at the junction. So, because that was what I said, I would just drop at the junction of the house because it was quite a distance to walk from their house to where the taxi, you could get a taxi. So, entered his car with, there was a church member around then.
Right. Yeah, you
So-
mentioned that the church member had come
Yes.
in the morning.
Yes, so the church member actually just dropped off before we even got to the junction.
Right.
And then he was driving, I was in front. He was the one driving. He just changed, like he made a detour.
Immediately he dropped off this other church member, he just changes the route.
Yes, after we advanced to another level, like before we got to the main junction
Right.
where I could get a taxi. And then I was like, Pastor, go and drop me at the junction. Can I come down? Can I come down? He was just smiling. And then he was just saying different things like, I am yours. You do what you want, what I tell you to do. And he just parked the car when he got there. At that moment, my heartbeat was very fast because I knew something was about to happen again. Something was about to happen again. There was nothing. I didn't even think of violence. I didn't think of hitting something. I didn't think of that. At that point, he came down from his car and opened the door, pulled me out.
This was on the main road.
Yes, somewhere with nobody was there,
Right, so
not
it
on the
entered
main
into-
road.
Right,
Yes.
right. It entered gone off the main road.
Yes, yes. We never even reached the main road.
Ah, right, because you came from his house.
Yes,
so it was the
we
road
never
to,
reached.
Right.
It was just the road to another place.
Right.
Anybody that knew Songo then was just full of bushes here
Right,
and there.
right.
Houses were just beginning to be developed there. So he just parked and came out, pulled me, I told you. I wanted to do this to you in the house. You did not answer. And that's how he bent me over. He bent me over at the back of the car. At the back of the car, opened the door. Then later on, put me at the bonnet, like my hands like this. Then later on, even just held my hands like this at the back. Held my hands like this, like I don't want to be cruel to you. Just answer me. Just give me what I want. So at that point, I didn't even do anything again. I just allowed him.
So he raped you again.
Yes. So he did it there. And came. Was more or less like a slave, no. So he did it there. He ejaculated and he put me in the car and started saying sweet things like, oh, Busola, I think I love you. Saying things, I didn't even say anything. I didn't say anything. We got home. He dropped me off. He said, you'll be fine. That this thing is not a new thing. I told his ministers then that he mentioned it that men of God do this.
The minute when you talk to his church, his fellow pastors in
Yes,
the church,
later on.
they said men of God do this.
Yes, no.
Okay.
He told them because I told them that at this point he mentioned it that he was saying men of God do it. It's not a
Right.
new thing.
Right.
And he still denied it, that he didn't say that.
But he said this to you.
But he said it to me.
That men of God do this.
Men of God do this. I got home. Right in front of my gate. I
He
came
dropped
down.
you at home.
Yeah, he dropped me at home. And I entered. At that point, I went to go have my bath immediately. I went to have my bath. I didn't come out at all for like 3 days. That particular time I didn't go to church the Sunday. So it was getting like worried. I didn't see you in church. He came
to the house.
To the house.
After he didn't see you in church on Sunday.
Yes. Like, what happened? What's this? You know.
But wasn't this strange to your sisters? Why was this married man always coming to check up on you?
They didn't. It wasn't strange.
It wasn't strange because
it was like, it was our pastor.
It's normal. They call it visitation.
Yes, and more or less we were very active in church.
Yes.
You know,
right.
Even this Infinity group, the singing group then.
The singers, yes.
They used to come to Ilorin then, and we would host them. The church.
So you were a church family.
Yes, so the church did not really have so much money to be able to put all of them in hotel rooms.
Right.
We would host them in my house.
Right.
We would cook for them. Even with the way we didn't really have so much money,
right.
you know, we would just do
it for them.
Yes.
I know how these things happen.
And sometimes even the boys, they would notice like, what's happening now? Let's help you with this. Let's help you with that. You know, so it was more like church family. We were very they didn't even think of it.
There was nothing strange about this.
Yes, like he was coming to my house, and you know.
So he dropped you off. I mean, he came back after the service to find out why he was worried.
Yeah.
And for your sisters, it's like normal concern.
Everybody,
but for you,
we were all there.
Yeah.
We were all there in the living room, and they were just like, "Oh, we are fine, everything." I said, "Okay, yes." I was fine. And the next time, I was still contemplating how should I tell my sisters. The only thing that just kept me from telling them was, this person is just acting nice. This person is not nice. Like, this person can do anything. I was just saying it. I was already saying it like, I don't think he's really truly born again. That's how I was saying it then, because I just felt that you won't be born again and then you do this kind of thing. And it felt like he didn't have any remorse. It felt like he could go back to do anything, you know. So that's how I also just felt like he can come to my house, send someone to come and do something, come and kill or... I didn't feel safe.
Yeah,
there was no man.
Yeah.
No man. It's not like I had the covering of my dad, like somebody that could protect us.
Yeah.
My mom I was all sold out to just be there for my mom. Like, I couldn't even tell my mom. And my mom and I, we sort of used to talk. I was like the stubborn person that, you know, some things that were troubling her, she would easily talk to me about them, you know, and I would pray with her and all those things. So all this, I was quiet. I would still go to church, come back, but then I now stopped being active in choir. I just told myself, on no account should you be with this guy alone. On no account will you go to his house again. I was just trying to like give myself different things to avoid, so I don't find myself in that state anymore. And then myself and my sisters would still talk around, because they held my virginity like it was theirs. So they would talk around it. Hey, Busola, when you even have your first boyfriend, or don't do this, just continue. And I would still smile. But whenever we had such conversations, I would just run back to the room again and cry, you know. I traveled it was when I was in Lagos. I told one of my sisters, she was coming to Lagos, that please let me just follow you. I just want to come here to Lagos. She came to Lagos. I followed her. I told her. She was actually the one that came to me, and then she had told me about a dream before that she had, and I saw that something bad happened to you. That my sister is like someone she dreams, like she sees things, either things that are happening to you now or things that will happen. So at that point, she told me, she said, I had a dream. You were crying seriously. And I saw blood on the floor. And I saw Biodun sitting on a chair.
Oh, wow.
She saw it in a dream. So that moment, I was sort of like in shock. Like, I denied. I said, no. The next thing I just started, because as at that time, that was the same time, the way it was, I was in Lagos, it was night, I was about to sleep, I was now crying. Like I wanted to pray, but I couldn't pray. So she was passing by, and she had been trying to tell me this, because even when we were there in Ilorin, she told me she didn't just have the dream, she had the dream sense. She called my sister that time to say, I have something that I want to tell Busola. I have something that I want to tell her. So it was not that very day that she just told me that, Busola, this is it. Tell me what happened. I started crying. Then I told her what happened. She started crying with me. She was mad. She was like, Busola, we have to go back to Ilorin. We have to go back to Ilorin. So we came back to Ilorin that week. My brother was in University of Ilorin then. Called my other sister, because then I have 3 older sisters. One was in Kaduna doing her youth service, or Kano rather, doing her youth service. And this one that followed me to Lagos, she wasn't the one that was there that day that it happened. I was sleeping. So that when we returned back, we told the other 2. My brother was angry. My brother took pocket knife, just dragged my hand. Let's go to his house. We went to his house. Immediately saw my brother and I coming. He quickly came out of his house. I was like, Busola, what's the matter? My brother's name is Tunde. He was very mad. Just called him, I'm going to stab you. I'm going to kill you. What did you do to her? He was begging. He was like, I'm sorry, it's just the devil. I don't know. It was just the devil. So at that time, someone was around, a church member.
In his house?
Yes, a minister, Wally.
Right.
That one is the pastor of the pastor of the branch in Port Harcourt now.
Now, right.
Yes.
So this person is still with him?
Yes, he's still with him. So, but as at then, he wasn't a pastor. He was a minister in church, like prayer minister.
Right.
So he now said we should come to my house. Myself and my brother went back home. Then they now came to my house. As at then, they called another minister. So we started talking.
He came with another minister?
Yeah. That he was really sorry. He didn't know what just came over him. Like, he was really sorry and all that. I was there. I couldn't say anything. It was just like, devil. Like, it was the devil that he didn't have the intention of doing that.
Biodun and a minister in his church come to your house to meet you and your brother. That means this minister knows about that Biodun had sex with you. Like, even if he didn't know that it was a rape, he knew that Biodun had sex with a girl who wasn't yet 18. Yeah. So they come to your house and they talk to you and they say it's the devil.
Yeah, right. We were just outside. They didn't even enter.
The house.
My brother came out. I came out. So they started saying it's the devil, this like that. Meanwhile, the minister then, which was Wole Soweto, and there's another minister, Flo. Right. And Flo actually happens to be my second cousin.
Flo is the second cousin. Flo used to be the pastor in Lagos.
Yeah,
is he still the pastor in Lagos?
I think so.
Right, okay. Right.
So, but it's not like we have that close relationship. Yeah.
So he came with 2 ministers, or he came with 1?
Yes, I think Wole came by himself.
Right, so he came with Flo.
Yes.
Then Wole came and joined you.
Yes.
Wow.
So, that's how they were talking. I'm so sorry. I'm this. I wasn't really even listening to everything because all that was just on my mind was I can't get back my virginity. Like, it's been done the way I think right now. You don't know my state. So I just said, I told my brother then, like, I want to leave the church because I wasn't even listening to the word. And I told Wale, I told him I want to leave the church. So he too, when he heard,
Who is
he actually
Biodun?
no, that's Wale
right.
Soeto,
Right.
the pastor in Port Harcourt now.
Right.
He too, he was like, this kind of thing, this no, I'm going to leave the church. It was
Right.
the prayer minister then.
Right.
It was the one like the firebrand, you know. So he was like, no, I have to. You can't even tolerate this. That this is just too much. It wasn't like maybe they even heard my narrative or they knew how. They just knew something
Had happened.
Yeah. So Wale said that, and then he was like, please, I'm so sorry. You know, knelt down. I don't want you guys to leave the church. If you leave the church, what would people say? You know, things like that. And the word of God that you listen, it's the word he was still talking about, like, it's the word of God that will help you. So I just kept quiet at that point. And after a while, he left. I entered the house. They were still having, yes, they were still having conversation. It was now later on I was chatting with, I came out, I was talking with Minister Wale.
Right.
Then, so he was like, Pastor is really sorry, and it's like he really needs their help. Like,
so basically, Wale was saying this man is a sick man, he needs help.
Like, yes, that he doesn't feel this is the right time to leave him.
Oh, this is not the right time for Wale to leave him because he needs Wale's help.
Yes.
Right.
Like, you know, he was the prayer minister, so
Right.
maybe he felt
praying
could, like, just be there for him. And then he was talking that it's just time, you'll be fine.
Who will be fine? You will be fine.
Yes, that I'll be fine.
That you will be fine.
Yes, that I'll be fine. That we should just look at him like it's a weakness, like it's something.
That you should look at it as if Biodun raping you an under 18-year-old is a weakness.
Yes.
Right.
And you know, it was just an act of the devil. I was just nodding. And later on, after they all talked, you know, so I can't believe this happened, though. I can't, you know, they all expressed themselves differently. At that time, Pastor Biodun had left. So I went back home, and I know the next Sunday we didn't go to church. It was like we went back to church after like 2 weeks.
You went back to the church?
Yeah.
Why?
Wale came, as in, it was more like constant visits to us. Like, the Amokitons, you people are really, really...
And your mother didn't know by this time?
My mother didn't know.
And
we all agreed, like, we weren't going to tell her.
So, but your sisters knew?
Yeah.
And your sister who was in Lagos, you know, the one who had... I mean, again, how did... Like, sorry, and this is a lot. This is a lot. And it's a lot for me, so I can't even imagine for you. But I'm just trying to understand. So, when your sister had the dream, like, this was a very random dream, what made her walk up to you to tell you this dream? There's something...
Yeah, it was
a very
that
weird
particular
dream.
day. I was in the house about to sleep at
in
night.
Lagos, right.
Yes, in Lagos. Because, see, every night wasn't the same night anymore. There are times I would cry. Sometimes it would be like I would almost sleep off in the bathroom, then I would get up. I was just trying to adopt in my own way, you know. So that time I was in Lagos. I was actually just kneeling down, and it was like I was praying, but I wasn't praying. I was just crying. I mean, well, this was night, late in the night. So my sister came out of our room, of the room where she was staying, and she noticed she was just hearing sound. Why? I was just saying, why me? Why me? That was just the question I kept asking for a very long time, because I felt I was faithful to God. I felt I had led many people to Christ, even though I was young. I felt I had done a lot for God, you know, back in school. I would even do like a deliverance session for people. I felt I was too committed.